A very good morning to you all. Market opening ceremonies are organized at the CSE trading floor to celebrate important developments in the Sri Lankan capital market sector. The event today celebrates the debut trading of Capital Alliance Limited. The shares of Capital Alliance Limited would be listed on the Dirisavi board of the Colombo Stock Exchange and will be classified under investment banking and brokerage sector. With over 2 decades of experience, the CAL Group has become one of the leading investment banks offering equity and debt advisory, stock brokering, fund management, private equity, security research services to a wide clientele. The listing follows a successful IPO as the issue was oversubscribed on the very first day itself. This indicates a strong interest of the public. Via the capital raise, CAL intends to strengthen the core capital of the company, which will be used to expand its investments in specific instruments that will result in returns for shareholders and provide a cushion against interest rate shocks. As we congratulate the company on the listing, we thank you for joining us today. To commence the proceedings this morning, we present the official corporate videos of the Colombo Stock Exchange and Capital Alliance Limited.
Banking on the entrepreneurial spirit of the Sri Lankan people, the Colombo Stock Exchange builds on a share trading tradition that has existed in Sri Lanka for over a century. The business of share trading that commenced with plantation companies in 1896 continues to thrive today as a matured and vibrant stock market that mobilizes capital flows of over 300 billion rupees a year.
After 35 years of the stock exchange, we have leveraged on the combined experience and expertise of the industry to leapfrog on multiple fronts. As we look towards a possible re-rating of the market upwards, what is on the cards are major infrastructure developments, new product introductions, widening of the investor base, building a sustainable business model, and most importantly, working with the government and the regulator to position the CSE as a pivotal point for capital raising.
The CSE in its present form began in 1985 when the Colombo Securities Exchange Guarantee Limited was incorporated as a company limited by guarantee formed by 7 stockbroker firms. Today, as the operator of the stock market in Sri Lanka, we offer state-of-the-art pre-trade, trade and post-trade platforms. Our stakeholder base also includes the regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, 285 companies, over 700,000 local and foreign institutional and individual investors, 150 members of staff of the stock exchange, and other market intermediaries who go and make up the ecosystem of the Sri Lankan capital market.
Stock exchange operations around the globe have evolved significantly over the past 35 years, and so has the CSE. Our trading operations, which started with an open outcry system and investors visiting the public trading floor, today is delivered through a state-of-the-art multi-asset class automated trading system and a central depository system. To mark its 35th anniversary year, CSE has engaged in a drive to digitalize all stakeholder touchpoints in the stock market, enabling end-to-end connectivity electronically.
CSE over the years have invested in technology because we understand a robust, secure and cutting-edge technology is the backbone of a modern exchange. Today our IT systems and infrastructure supports a sustainable business model by securing processing transactions, generating accurate and real-time market data and offering speedy, convenient, reliable access to the market users. We have also focused strengthening our information and cybersecurity and building internal capabilities to support the market-wide digitization strategy.
Establishing regulatory readiness to navigate through a Sri Lankan business landscape that has changed substantially since CSE was first established has been a material focus.
Regulation must evolve to support the development plan or the development strategy of the exchange, and that is something that we have always followed. Compared to the inception of the Colombo Stock Exchange 35 years ago, we have been able to transform our listing framework to make it really attractive for issuers to come and raise capital by listing their securities through the Colombo Stock Exchange. And for this purpose, we have been able to diversify our listing platforms and listing boards, giving them various listing options to benefit. In terms of overall regulation, our focus has always been investor protection, creating and maintaining a fair and orderly market, and also facilitating capital formation.
As we celebrate 35 years, the CSE has taken decisive steps to diversify from a single product market to one that offers multiple products. Real estate investment trusts, the creation of an OTC market for repos on corporate debt, trading of gold products, and stock borrowing and lending are already in the process of being introduced. On the regulatory and governance fronts, the new SEC Act, we believe, will be an important development covering regulatory changes required to continue to safeguard investor rights.
The investor base in the Sri Lankan stock market has grown steadily over the last 35 years, and measures taken by CSE to increase the retail investor base and foreign investment fund flows rapidly to create a vibrant securities market have been focused and consistent. We have used multiple strategies to attract local and foreign investors. End-to-end digitalization is helping us to widen the local investor base. The Invest Sri Lanka series has been effective in taking the message of our stock market and opportunities globally, and in attracting foreign fund flows into the country. As we look ahead, CSE envisions to play a competitive role and be among the leading regional markets, harnessing our key strengths of the established infrastructure and the reputation built over 35 years.
Over the last 35 years, we have evolved, we have changed, we have developed. But one thing that remains unchanged is our focus on maintaining the integrity and the quality of the market.
We will continue our journey towards success, and we value our stakeholders whose confidence in us stood unaltered. I would like to recognize the role played by our listed companies, our investors, and all market intermediaries who placed confidence in the CSE over the past 35 years. I also recognize the untiring efforts of board members, present and past, as well as the CSE staff, including those who served previously.
Colombo Stock Exchange, a transformative past, a vibrant future.
Nurturing and growing your wealth is what drives CAL. Because we firmly believe a family business is first and foremost a business family. Our new brand symbol is a representation of this philosophy, a design inspired by the interlaying weave of the nest, a universal symbol of trust, protection, and family. Home to the golden egg that symbolizes wealth and prosperity. A spherical form that represents dynamic movement. With the colors that represent trust, finance, innovation, and evolution. All coming together to embody a unique visual identity, ready to take on a world of endless possibilities.
Now I am pleased to invite our first speaker today, Mr. Dumit Fernando, the chairman of the Colombo Stock Exchange, to deliver the welcome remarks of the ceremony.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Dinesh D'Souza, Chairman of Capital Alliance Limited. Mr. Ajit Fernando, Chief Executive Officer of Cal Group and Executive Director of Capital Alliance Limited. The other directors, board members of the various Capital Alliance Group companies. Ms. Shamali Pereira, Chief Risk and Compliance Officer of Cal Group. Mr. Somadas Palihuadana, Managing Director, Capital Alliance Limited. The Chief Regulatory Officer of the CSE, Renuka Vijayawardena, and the rest of the CSE management team. Managers to the issue, the Capital Alliance IB team, and dear friends. So it gives me great pleasure today to welcome everyone to this IPO. As you know, not because we don't do this very often. This is, I think, the 8th or 9th IPO for the year, which is a good step up from having 0 just last year and the year before, I think. But in particular, because we are welcoming, dare I say, one of our own, being a capital markets industry participant, another investment banking firm into the fold of a long list of privileged listed companies. For us as a capital market, I think this has been a very exciting year. I remember about 18 months ago when I took over as chair of the CSE, my personal goal was to put the CSE on steroids. We said after several years of inactive listings and obviously a fairly tepid environment in the markets, we saw a lot of the environment aligning itself to present a very strong equity market and a capital raising environment. And the trading and investors obviously generating wealth through the capital market is obviously one very important aspect. But the core function of our capital market is always to match savings with those who need capital. And with today's capital raising, I think, as I mentioned, we have the 9th IPO, equity IPO for the year. We have about 5 more rushing before the end of this year to list. And I'm happy to say we have crossed the 100 billion rupee mark in terms of capital raising, both debt and equity this year. So that's exciting for us as a stock exchange, but today is about Capital Alliance. Capital Alliance, it needs no introduction in the capital markets. Ajit Fernando needs no introduction in capital markets. He's been a pioneer in many aspects of local capital markets. And it is really a delight and an honor for us to welcome a firm of the repute and track record of Capital Alliance onto the listed company platform. We are looking forward to a couple more IPOs actually related to capital markets, but we hope that you will be a trendsetter here. And it's, I think, proven to us by the 8.5 times subscription of the IPO, but most notably the 3.5 times retail oversubscription, that there is great interest in this sector, in the quality of companies like the Capital Alliance. And we hope that you will see great aftermarket performance today as well. So with that, I would say we would expect that our investor clients all across the market, as well as everyone else involved, all our stakeholders, would pay keen attention to today's listing and the trading of Capital Alliance Limited, as we are seeing the capital markets business itself, the capital market sector itself being introduced into the market for the first time in a very, very long time. And I wish the board members, the management team, as well as all employees of Capital Alliance Limited, all success with today's IPO and beyond. And I hope that you will find a very strong experience, not just with today's trading, but going forward, being part of the CSE ecosystem. Thank you very much, and welcome again to today's proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. Fernando. May I now kindly invite Mr. Ajit Fernando, Chief Executive Officer of the Cal Group and Executive Director of Capital Alliance Limited, to share the remarks on behalf of the company.
First of all, Dumit, thank you very much for those kind words. And a very warm welcome to all of you once again. Thank you for being here, for all of those who have been here present physically, as well as for those who have joined us over various social media platforms. It's a great honor to have you here, because as you can imagine, it's a very special occasion for us. A journey that started 21 years ago as a very small company with just 3 employees, to be here today, to be a listed entity. And we as a Cal Group have helped so many companies list over the last few years. It still seems very strange to be the one being listed. And it's a very novel feeling, and it's a very happy feeling, and it's a great honor. So I think this is a great occasion to say thank you to a lot of people who have helped us to get here. If I can start with the board of directors, we have always been lucky and privileged to have a relatively outsized board, or the company disproportionately experienced and diversified board guiding the company. And I think that has been one of our strengths, because it has helped the company to come down a path which we may otherwise have missed. And for that, I thank everybody, the boards of the holding company, chairman, and everybody else, as well as the company that's been listed, Capital Alliance Limited. So Capital Alliance Limited was the first company we set up, and I must thank all the clients of ours who have helped us in many ways over the years to come to this position. Without clients, there is no company. And our whole purpose in existence is to serve our clients. So thank you for all of them for having been with us over the years. So unlike any other entity, a primary dealer is a creation of regulation. We are created by the regulation of Central Bank, and therefore I think this is a great opportunity to thank the Central Bank of Sri Lanka for not only creating primary dealers and giving us the license to function as a primary dealer, but also to all the ways they have supported us over the years. So former Governor Mr. S. Javadana once said, primary dealers are the extended family of the Central Bank. And it's a great privilege for us to be part of that extended family. And we take that responsibility very seriously, and hope to continue doing so. In addition, we are a company with no factories or buildings or any other assets. Our main asset is our people. So I would like to thank, at this point, the entire team, not only of Capital Alliance Limited, but of the entire group, both present and past, who have helped us to come to this position. Without your support and hard work, we would never be here, and I'm always grateful and look forward to having you all with us in the next few years, in the beginning of an exciting journey ahead. For our shareholders, this was a very privately held company, and most of the shareholders were also involved in the company. So it's a unique opportunity to see the kind of interest that we have attracted from other shareholders, particularly retail. So it's going to be an interesting idea, and I think in a way this is the whole purpose of having a stock exchange and having a capital market. It is to allow all types of investors to take part in a business that's otherwise restricted to institutional and corporate investors only. So I look forward to working with all our new investors and enhancing their value and enhancing all shareholder value and enhancing our clients going forward. So once again, thank you very much, and I look forward to an exciting journey ahead as a listed company in the prestigious Colombo Stock Exchange. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fernando. We would now proceed to open the market, and I kindly invite onto the podium, representing Capital Alliance Limited, Mr. Dinesh D'Souza, Chairman and Non-Executive Director, Mr. Ajit Fernando, Chief Executive Officer, Cal Group and Executive Director of Capital Alliance Limited, Ms. Shamali Pereira, Chief Risk and Compliance Officer of Cal Group, Mr. Somadasa Palihavadana, Managing Director of Capital Alliance Limited. Representing the Colombo Stock Exchange, Mr. Dumit Fernando, Chairman, Mr. Renuka Vijayawardana, Chief Regulatory Officer, and Ms. Vinduni Dulleva, Head of Listings Division. Thank you, everyone. May I now kindly invite Chairman of the CSE, Mr. Dumit Fernando, and Chief Regulatory Officer of the CSE, Mr. Renuka Vijayawardana, to present the listing certificate and a token of appreciation to the dignitaries. Thank you, gentlemen. With that, we end today's market opening ceremony organized to celebrate the listing of Capital Alliance Limited. I would like to thank our distinguished guests who graced this occasion. Have a pleasant day.